going on, everybody? It's the one and only El Amin from El Amin's Codex. Today, we're talking about why most of society is stuck in their lower animal nature, in their lower state of mind. You see, people, the soul, man, divine. We are divine. We come from above, not from below, but we are joined with the earth, which is below, which is the body of man, which is the clay of the earth. So our soul is divine. It is that of like an angel. We came from above, and we joined with this body of a beast that is from below. And the two are contrary to one another. The two are constantly opposing each other. The body wants to fulfill its sexual, animalistic, egotistical desires, which expresses itself in the form of oppressing others, in the form of killing others, in the form of having power over others, in the form of subjugating others, in the form of ejaculating constantly, because that's what beasts in the wild do. They continuously ejaculate into the female beast. And those are the footsteps that man is following. Religion does not teach you to get out of this lower animal nature. Religion plays with it. Religion tells you to just get married, and then you can enjoy this pleasure. You can be one with it all day long. You can have all the fun you want. And yes, man is free. Man can do whatever man likes. But this energy, this sexual energy, is meant to elevate us above. In this body of man, it's meant to elevate us into the heavens. It's meant to help you experience your soul, the deeper aspects of you, the deeper aspects of who you are meant to be. I don't believe that necessarily that we should be indulging all the time. There's certain practices that help you elevate this energy through the kundalini up the spine into the pineal gland, which helps you experience a higher level of consciousness, a higher level of awareness. But the problem is that the media continuously promotes the sexual act of ejaculating. It makes it look good. It makes it look sexy. It makes it look like that's the one and only thing worth living for. But I know that that's not true. I know that we live in a world of duality. The world will present you with something amazing. The devil comes in wearing garments of silver and gold, all beautiful. But when you walk into the chamber that you thought was pleasure, when you walk into that chamber, you realize that this is not the end all be all. It's like when we was in high school and you were told, yeah, you want to have sex, that's the one thing that matters. That's the one thing that's going to make you into a man. I will tell you this, I will tell you that makes you less of a man. Because all that says about you is that you're stuck in your lower animal nature and you actually have no control over yourself, and you're letting this body, this beast of a body, have control over the higher mind, aka the soul. So the soul is a prisoner of this body. The soul is a prisoner in this body, and you are a slave to the desires of this body. Although we are more advanced than the animals of the zoo, yet we act like them. We are not much different than them. We see cultures all around the world, including Muslims, including Christians, indulging in this egotistical animal-like nature, taking over properties, taking over a group of people, converting them by force into their religion, not by peace, not by a higher understanding. This easily shows us that people like Muhammad were not prophets. They were people stuck in their lower animal nature. They were egotistical men. I mean, come on, guys. People literally made fun of him, and he killed them for that because they opposed his belief system that he was trying to enforce on others. If that's not a man stuck in his lower animal nature, then I don't know what is. And that's up to for you guys to decide. But let's continue, because society all around us promotes this act. Society wants you to be in your body, not to be in your soul, in the spirit of God. God can't be experienced through your penis. Although it is the great pleasure of being in this world, it is not the end all be all. There's a higher consciousness that you can experience. The greatest pleasure to me, is experienced in the mind. And your penis is not going to help you achieve this. Being in your lower animal nature is not going to help you achieve this. It simply doesn't help. We don't want to walk around like animals. It's our goal, it's our mission, it's our purpose to elevate ourselves beyond this state. Rather, I would say to even experience a whole different modality of thinking, a whole different level of consciousness. But man is always afraid of the unknown. Man is afraid of something that he has never experienced before. Why should you live according to the traditions of man? Should you not be allowed to explore further? Do you not have a free will of your own? Why are you stuck in your traditions that are mostly rooted in animalistic natures? Polygamy, for example. Most of it is just an animalistic nature. Man would do whatever it takes to fulfill his own personal desires and his own personal pleasures. Men are, naturally have a bigger ego than females. So we have men who are marrying multiple women, which Islam promotes, which I'm against, because everybody should be equal. If a man is allowed to marry 4 girls, so should a woman. A woman should be able to marry 4 men. Maybe there's some very sexual females. Maybe there's some females with big egos. What makes a man better than a woman? Doesn't make any sense. So we're all stuck in this lower animalistic nature. The real question here is, how do we escape this nature? How do we elevate ourselves beyond this nature? You are trained by society, you are trained by your mother and father to perceive things a certain way. Men in Egypt back then, girls used to walk out with their tits out. They weren't getting raped. They used to have their asses out. Men weren't coming from behind and fucking them. You know why? Because these men had a higher level of understanding. They elevated their consciousness to the point that the physical world does not affect their modality of thinking or how they feel. You're trained and conditioned to view things certainly. We men have control over our mind. We have the ability, the power to perceive things as we see fit. We are not animals. You don't necessarily, a highly elevated female in consciousness will not look at a penis and immediately be excited or stimulated. Because if that female gets stimulated, it means that's her animalistic nature, her lower animal that's in control. But if you meet a female that is highly elevated, that understands how to direct her energy, a man that is highly elevated, that understands how to direct his sexual energy, that perceives things not by how he thought was society, not how society thought us, but by a higher modality of thinking. That's the destiny of mankind. That's where we're supposed to go. We're not supposed to indulge in the dragon like this. We're supposed to defeat the dragon. This dragon, the Kundalini energy, the snake, has a different purpose. So men and women, let's beat our lower nature. Let's be victorious over it. Let's reign over it. Let's not allow it to run the way we think. Let's not let society dictate how we perceive females and men. We are not sexual toys for each other. We are here to elevate each other through this knowledge and through this supreme understanding.